much detail. I'm just going to do a quick poll. Who has accepted the invitation to join Yammer? Okay, that was the wrong question. Who hasn't accepted the invitation to join Yammer? You're better than, no, a little bit more than Singapore, because there are only 6 Singapore students this morning that hadn't accepted the invitation. If you haven't received an invitation, or if you've been having a problem accessing your mailbox, just let us know, and we'll make sure that you get on there as quickly as possible. It's essential that you do go on Yammer, because a lot of the services that you're going to be offered are going to be offered through Yammer. Now, why Yammer? Why not Facebook? Yammer offers a lot of functionality that we don't necessarily find on Facebook. And it's the tool that is being used for the entire INSEAD community. So today you're with your class, you're with the Singapore group, you'll be able to communicate with each other. But tomorrow when you graduate, you'll be able to stay in touch with each other, and you'll be able to speak to other alumni promotions. So it does have an interest. Why we use Yammer? Because it's limited to the INSEAD community. Only people with an INSEAD.edu email address can access it. So for us, from a technical point of view, it's a little bit easier than accepting Facebook requests, generally. So you know that when you're on Yammer, you're within a closed community, that anything you share on Yammer, the data is owned by INSEAD. We have complete control over the data. You're not going to be spammed. You're not going to receive emails asking you for marketing or anything like that. It is a completely closed and secure environment. That having been said, we do have to respect IP rules on Yammer. When you, in your group and in your classes, you receive documents, please don't share them with outside. The same rules apply as to anything else. We can't send Harvard Business School case studies out of the INSEAD environment. So, file sharing. You've got several functionalities on Yammer that you don't have on Facebook, for example. You're able to share files between you, you're able to store files, and you're also able to collaborate simultaneously on files. So that is interesting. So instead of having to use Google Hangout, Facebook, Dropbox, LinkedIn, and trying to juggle with them all, I'd be pretty surprised if you don't find most of the functionality on Yammer. And if you don't, contact me, and I can try and either help you find a way of doing something if you can't find out how to do it, or maybe we'll be able to discover something together. How is it organized? I think most of you received the invitation from me to join the global network. So what we've done is we've tried to make it pretty obvious. We've given them really distinct colors. So on the learning network, this contains all your program-specific information. Only students can access the learning network. You are the only ones on there at the moment, mostly MBA students, some PhD students, some Gamba students. We are going to be introducing the other degree programs onto the learning network, so you will be able to network and talk directly to them as well. They'll be sharing different resources with them. You have academic and student life information. You'll be able to speak to Christelle, to Sven, or any of their team directly, either if you've got something to ask them that is a sort of a private message that you don't want to necessarily share with everybody, just send them a private message and they'll respond to you, adding anybody else that needs to be in the conversation. If you have a question that you think might actually help one of your classmates, well, it's trying to post it in a group so that when we answer it, everybody can learn from it. If you're asking the question, chances are at least 10 other people are asking the same question. So I'm on the Yammer help group, so you can ask me something there. Honestly, my experience has found is I try to answer a question. Very often somebody else answers it before I do. And we found that in other groups, like the IT support as well. So you're helping out each other, and we're watching the answers to make sure that the answer is right. But it's the whole idea of the collaborative network. And for certain of you, you're going to have courses with your professors. Not all of the professors are on Yammer yet. We're having a slow transition. This is something we just launched in November. But several professors have decided to go for it and see how it works. So we'd love to have your feedback on that. You tell us if you find that this is a really positive experience for you, please let us know. That helps us encourage more professors to use Yammer as well. So let's try and create a good circle here. On the global network. Now the global network is where you're going to be able to stay once you've graduated. We're going to take you out of the learning network, stay on the global network. So because that is the case, we've decided to put everything that's the club activity, private equity, finance, or rugby, whatever, all of that activity happens on the global network. So if you're looking for a club, a student life activity, chances are it's going to be there. The alumni, we're slowly bringing them onto the platform too, so you'll be able to see them there. The reason we've done that is we know that the relationships that you build during your program are really important to you, and we want you to be able to continue them as much as possible afterwards. It also helps with transition. You may become club president. If you're no longer in the Learning Network, then once you leave, you're no longer able to help the new club president, continue on his activity. And maybe you're interested to see how things develop as well. So maybe as well you'll be able to have a relationship with different alumni that are fascinated by a specific subject, or faculty members that may, for example, in the private equity group, come in and maybe start a conversation there as well. So as a new student, what groups will you be a member of? Now, if everything went okay, and I think it more or less did, you should be an MBA, 13D, FBL, or P1, P2. I didn't choose the name. We really didn't. We did try to make it as simple as possible. Actually, what we found out was simplicity was transparency. So at least there you've got all the information to recognize the name of the group. It's not perfect. If you've got a better idea, please let us know. Then we've got the MBA Office Academic Administration, where you'll be able to find Sven and Crystal and her team. MBA Office Student Life. Again, where you'll find Emily and other members of the Student Life team that will be able to answer you about questions. Well, the Student Bulletin Board. Now, I haven't seen a lot of activity there yet, but I really hope that this is something that's going to be useful for you. If you're deciding to go off to Singapore in P3 and you've got a bicycle to sell, put it in there. Hopefully, one of the students that's doing the strange in the other direction is going to be interested in buying it. I think it could be a really useful tool. Then we've got MBA Careers, and we've got somebody from the Careers team who's going to come and talk to you about that. IT support. That's been the most active group so far, actually. So they've been great. This is a new thing for them. We only started the IT support on Yammer for you guys, so bear with us, and hopefully we'll be able to answer most of your questions there. All the resources you need should be there, drivers, all of that sort of stuff. And the Yammer Help Group is where you find me. I think that's it for Yammer. Has anybody got any questions? Oh, wow. Yes.
For the MBA Office Student Life, basically it's still with student activities, but only club activities are on the global network. Is that it?
Yeah, well, actually, if you've got any questions about student life activities, like even something that's going on in the global network, ask it in the Learning Network, in the Student Life group. So if you want to know where is the sailing club, for example, then ask that question in the Student Life group, and somebody will send you a link that will help you go there directly.
The Learning Network is about us being there to help you, so we'll answer those emails. We run those groups basically. On the global network, this is for you to run that student-specific groups. Okay? Yeah?
Has Yammer superseded MBA Connect, or is there a need to
It will.
get both?
It will, but just for your information, it is superseding MBA Intranet. This is disappearing completely, okay? We still have links to that, so where you can find your course, for example, your Outlook calendars for your courses, very important things like this, but we are phasing it out. MBA Connect is before you come here. And anyway, this is not something that students used to use after coming here, and it will disappear as well, yes, in the future. But we're making this transition with you guys, so you're the first guinea pigs. I shouldn't use this word. We're starting with you, so this is going to be phasing out. The July class, for example, doesn't have the same access than you yet, either, on Yammer. They are slowly going into it and building some groups and clubs, but it is very much on your side at the moment. Okay? I will tell you when we shut it down, don't worry. Yes?
In terms of students communicating with each other and creating private groups,
yeah.
What's your recommendation for using email versus Yammer, when to use each one?
Well, if you want,
I can answer that. There's a bunch of you that have already created groups on Yammer. I was amazed. I saw 6 groups created yesterday, students that have created sections. I think that's fabulous. If you want to create a group for your section, within your section, please go ahead. There's only one thing I would ask you. All student-created groups, if you could please precede the name with S, that would be fabulous. It lets us differentiate student-created groups from official groups.
Emails are going to be very much coming your way, more and more and more and more. If you talk to the previous class, they'll tell you that they have 150 emails coming because people reply to all, or they forget their sock somewhere and they'll send an email to the class. I think probably the future is not emails, but Who am I to say that? It's for you guys to decide this.